format, how should be the format of the response. It depends on the questions. The questions could be closed or open-ended questions. Closed questions are questions that has very specific choices for the answer. So it helps respondents to make quick decisions. It has some multiple choices and you need to choose just one choice. This kind of questions helps researchers to code because the answers we need after that, in order to do the analysis, we need to do the coding. To code it, to transfer it from, some kind of forms to different kind that the program of analysis can understand. It's like it's like programming. Okay, when you change the variable from something that is on the real to something that is a variable that the computer can understand. Okay, so it's coding. It helps the researchers to coding. Why? Because it has specific answers, and you just need to check or to choose one answer. But we have different kind of questions, which is open-ended questions. Open-ended questions, the respondents can talk about the answer. It's not just choice. You can answer it by writing, for example, or by saying something. But it should be unbiased point of view. Okay? I mean, when you write something, you shouldn't be biased. And this kind of questions add additional insights. Because sometimes, when you see the question and when you see the answers, maybe you have something else rather than these answers. You have some ideas, you have some answers or some possible answers, you have some opinions about this question. So if it's closed, then you just answer choosing one answer. But sometimes you can add some more questions.
More idea.
Yes. You can add additional insights. It is complementary to closed questions, but for interpretation purposes. I mean, it is just a complementary. Because the questionnaire is based on closed questions. Most of the questionnaire questions are closed questions. But sometimes when you need to do some interpretation, you add some few questions which are open-ended questions to make the respondent say what he wants to say. Maybe he wants to add something. Maybe he wants to give his idea or opinion that is not mentioned in the answers, or that he cannot choose in the answers. Okay? So it is complementary to closed questions in order to make interpretation, in order to interpret something, in order to explain something, in order to clarify something, or to say his opinion or point of view. Okay? Questions wording, how to write the questions. Try to avoid double-barreled questions. What do you mean by double-barreled questions? Some of your friends, one of your friends asked me what do you mean by double-barreled questions in the chat yesterday. It is defined as questions that you can answer as different answers. You can answer in different ways. Okay, there is a probability to answer this way, and there is a probability to answer in different ways. So you can make him confused, and you are allowed only to choose one answer. Okay, so you will be confused. Which one should I choose? So avoid this kind of questions. Double barrel means it has the possibility of meaning.
More than one answer.
Yes, possibility of meaning. It could be this meaning, and it could be this other meaning, or third other meaning, but you are allowed only to answer, to choose one answer. Ambiguous questions and words, sometimes some questions are not properly written, so it becomes ambiguous. Ambiguous means random. So maybe the person who writes the question can understand, but the one who reads the question, he cannot understand. So try to make your questions very simple.
Clear.
Yes. Don't use ambiguous words, the words that you cannot interpret, you cannot understand. Okay?
Maybe abbreviation words.
Use of ordinary words, the words that people use, all people use. Okay? Ordinary, in ordinary life, in ordinary speaking, in ordinary writing. Avoid leading or biasing questions. Leading questions are kind of questions that lead the person to answer
Specific.
in,
Certain
yes, in this direction. Yes. To make him biased, affected by your question. Because sometimes, if you want him to answer in very specific answer or to choose one answer, you can play with the words in the question and then just make him choose this one. So avoid this thing because it's not helpful for your study. Your analysis will be not meaningful. Social desirability. Avoid to choose something that will affect the feeling of the respondent according to his social desire. What's the desire of his society? Okay? It differs from society to society, from country to country, from culture to another culture. In some cultures, if you say something, maybe in other culture is not allowed to say it. So try to avoid using some words that is not desired for some kind of societies. Okay? Use the things that will not make any argument between you and the respondents. Avoid recall-dependent questions. Questions that need you to recall something. In order to answer the question, you need to recall, to revise, to go and read something else. This is difficult. I don't have time and I don't have, okay? It depends, this question depends on something else. Recall me to go and revise something else. So it's not an exam. It is just a questionnaire. It should be easy to be answered. And if there is something that you need to clarify, just clarify it in front of the question. I mean, in the beginning of the question. You can define something in the beginning of the question, and then you ask him about that thing after you clarify it. Okay? Don't make him recall or go and revise or ask himself or ask somebody or depend on something because he will leave it. Okay? We revise for the exam because we need to pass the exam. But for the questionnaire, we will not go and revise just to answer the questionnaire. Okay? Question wording also use positive and negative statements. We say why we should use positive and negative. If you just use positive, 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 then the scale will be the same. Then maybe the respondent just choose, if he is biased, he will choose just one column. Okay? To make sure that he is aware or he really read the questions, make a mix of positive and negative. If he still use the same scale or the same choice, it means that he didn't read the question, just choose, settle. Okay? And then this questionnaire is not valid for analysis. Here are some examples. This sender delivered high quality banking service. This sender has poor customer operational support. Okay? So this one is high positive and this one is negative. So use mix of them. Avoid double negative. Don't use double negative questions because it can make a confusion. There are a lot of examples in the book. In the lecture we cannot go through all the examples. We are here just showing you some hints and headlines. Then you go and read the book. Limit the length of questions. Rules of thumb, it shouldn't be more than 20 words. Only maximum 20 words. One for line in print. One line. Don't make it more than one line if it's not necessary. The sequence should be, this is the final approach. You know what's the final? It should be from general to specific. Explain to him the general thing in order to go to the specific. Don't go directly and ask about the specific before asking about general. Ask him about the easy thing before you go for the difficult thing. Okay? Personal and sensitive data at the end. Because if you ask him about personal and sensitive data from the beginning, he will leave it.
Maybe it's difficult.
He will leave it sensitive. Personal and sensitive. You will feel like not comfortable to read. The cover letter is the introductory page of the questionnaire. Should include identification of the researcher, who is the researcher, motivation for respondents to fill it in. Why should I, as a respondent, why should I fill it? Confidentiality, it should be confidential. Thanking of the respondent. Thank you for your great effort to do this questionnaire success. So these are some tips that you can use to build your questionnaire if necessary, if it's required. Okay. You have any question?
How to write it? How to write it?
How to write the questionnaire? Okay, open Microsoft Word and just
in this format. In this way.
in this way. Of course, you will find samples of questionnaires, okay, in your field, because all studies in some fields they publish, they share their questionnaires, they publish their questionnaires, the type of questions, and then you just collect these questions. You want to use them for your society. Maybe these questions were used to different society or different country. So you can use them for your country if they can be applied.
You can from reading and see the questionnaire.
Yes,
And you
from
can
reading the literature you can collect a lot of things.
collecting the idea of
Yes.
how to
And
write.
you can collect what are the variables in your study and how you can ask about these variables. It's not difficult.
But Doctor, how can you include questionnaires in your research? As appendix? Or how?
Yes, because in your results or experiments, you will show only the analysis.
Not the questionnaire.
No. You would say that
You mentioned I have
yes,
this and this.
yes. And maybe you can refer to appendix number that to see the questionnaire, but this is what is more important is not the questionnaire. It's the methodology, how you build the questionnaire, because data collection is a part of methodology, your methodology to performing research. It is a part of research design. So in your thesis, you will have one chapter for the methodology and one chapter for research design. So for research design, you will explain how you build your questionnaire, how you collect the data, what are the samples that you use to collect the data, what kind of data that will be collected, and then you are basing on this questionnaire, you can refer to the questionnaire, and then after that, in the results and analysis, you will just show the result, the analysis. And you are going to interpret the result of the analysis, statistical analysis. You will say why this one is like this and why this one is like this. Sure, yeah. But your work seems like technical, which is development. And it's like a more quantitative than qualitative. You can make it this or this. You can tolerate it like quantitative or qualitative. Negotiate with your supervisor. Okay, any other question other than how to write a questionnaire? Because this is a technical topic. I mean, something that you cannot teach because it depends on the area, depends on the topic.
Many factors.
Yeah, I'm not expert in all topics or all research areas to tell you how to write it.
But doctor, can you give me some way or?
Yeah, I told you. Okay, read the literature well. Don't read only the abstract and introduction and you say, okay, I read. No. Now, after you take this lesson about the research design, okay, you need to go the research papers thoroughly to understand what are the variables people are collecting, what are the data collection methods. Okay, they will explain their research papers how to collect the data and what kind of questions. Sometimes they mention it. Okay, and you can also collect some theses in your topic, not only research papers. Go and find some theses. There are some theses that you can locate or find on the internet, free access. So you can start from them. And also I think here in the university or some students, they do such similar things. So just see their reports, how they talk about it. Okay. It's not difficult, step by step. But you want to directly jump step by step.
Okay, done.
Anyone has a question? You want to ask?